this is Ron LeGrand, and this lesson is about big money. And I know if you've been hanging around me very long, you know that my whole goal and my whole game plan is to turn real estate into cash and cash flow without using your money or credit. And man, we're doing a good job of that, and students are doing that all over the United States of America and Canada, and have been for years and years and years. But lately, for the last couple, 2 to 3 years, we've been using the ACTS program, but it's not just ACTS. It's terms. That's a 5-letter word, terms. Terms has changed our industry. And terms is not utilized enough in our marketplace today, and I want to show you why. And so we've been doing terms deals, always have been doing terms deals. But since we invented ACTS about 2.5 years ago and put it into play and started using it, it generated a whole lot of other types of terms deals. And if you take all of those and combine them today, you really got a business that's just hard to beat. And now, lately, we've been working on big deals, not little deals. If you take what we know about the houses we've been working on for the last several years, and now add it to high-end, upper-end, multi-million-dollar houses without risk, without using your money, and without using your credit, it has to make a case that that's where you should be. Look, we do $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 houses. We do 6 to 12 of them a month right here. I have students all over the country. That pretty much defines most of the areas where you live. But in some of the higher end areas, like the LA market, the San Francisco market, the DC market, or wherever their high end areas are, up in the Northeast, man, is this a gold mine for you. So let me just give you a couple of examples. It's actually a gold mine for anybody because there's high-end houses in every city. Let me see, I'm working on several of these right now ourselves and with our clients. Let me just show you a couple of examples. We're working on this house right now here in Florida. The house has an ARV of $2.4 million, and the seller owes $1.4 million. And his payment is $6,200 a month, PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Now this seller says that he will sell it for $1.9 million. But he wants $175,000 down, and that's his hot button because he just has to have that money and he will not get out of that house without that. But he will seller finance. So he'll seller finance for $1.9 with $175 down, which means we owe him $1,725,000. So we just do a wraparound mortgage in the state of Florida. It'd be an all-inclusive trust deed in some states, or it could be a land contract or forget about what document it is right now. I just want you to focus on the math here. Now, we're going to put this property under contract, and we're going to give this man a $10 deposit. That's right. Well, actually, in this case, we're going to give him a $100 deposit. That's right, $100. To secure the purchase agreement to buy this property. Now he knows full well that we are not going to close on this purchase until we find a buyer that we like to put the property in the house. And we might even let him approve the buyer, but frankly I haven't told him that yet. So that's the buy side. Now watch, and here's what he's asking. And he says if we make his $6,200 a month payment that he's happy. So he's okay if he gets $175 down and enough to cover his debt. Now he wants a 3-year balloon, which is fine. I'll give him his 3-year balloon. Now you might be saying, well gosh, I don't have 175 grand. Well gosh, it means you're not listening very well, because I have no intentions of writing a check for 175 grand to buy this house. Although, it's not out of the question if need be, but I have no intentions of doing that. Our goal is very, very simple. We're going to put this property on the market with owner financing. Let me ask you a question. Would that generate inbound calls where you live? The answer is the demand's 100 times bigger than the supply. But before I go any further, how many times do you see a $2.4 million house on the market with owner financing? The answer is almost none. You realize that you have this entire market to yourself. Yeah, show me an investor who's going to go buy a $2.4 million house and then put it out on the market on a lease purchase or owner financing. There aren't any, and if there are, they're very, very few and they don't matter. So let me recap here a minute. We're going to have $100 in this deal. Going to have a $100 deposit. The seller could care less about the size of the deposit. He understands full well what I'm going to do. And he certainly knows that I'm going to make money on this thing. So here's my game plan once we get this under contract. Because we've got it kind of orally negotiated, but we don't have it under contract yet. And this is just one of many examples. We'll put the property on the market for 2.5 with owner financing. And that is the key, my friends. Remember, we're buying with terms, we're selling with terms. That's what makes this so much fun and so easy. No banks. Out of here. Now, whether you know it or not, on a $2.5 million house, the buyer is going to need 20% down, even if they qualify. If they literally are squeaky clean and have a strong financial statement, the bank might let them in with 10% down, no less, absolutely no less. We're likely looking at 20% down payment. If we're looking at a 20% down payment, that's $500,000 down that a buyer would need even if they are qualified. Our buyer likely won't be qualified today, but most certainly will be between now and 3 years from now, or they wouldn't be giving us the money to buy it with owner financing. I'm going to sell it for 2.5. We think it's worth 2.4. It's worth 2.5 with owner financing and probably more. These buyers are buying the terms. They're not going to be that want to negotiate about the price. So just watch this. If I put it right back on the market for 2.5 and I get 500 down, that means my buyer owes me $2 million. Okay? However, a payment on a $2 million house, if you go to the bank and borrow this money, you're probably looking at somewhere around $10,000 a month for an incoming payment on a $2 million house. So we'll negotiate the payment with the buyer, we'll negotiate the down payment with the buyer, and we'll negotiate the price if we have to. But for the sake of this lesson, just look at the numbers. We'll close the buyer and the seller at the same time. We'll let the attorney collect the $500,000, pay out the $175,000, and of course, where's the rest got to go? That's $325,000 that goes into Hip National Bank. That's my favorite institution. The day we find this buyer, plus we'll collect $10,000. We pay out $6,200, and incidentally, that's PITI. So we're looking at another $3,800 a month for as long as we're in this deal, and that will be up to 3 years, however long it takes this buyer to get qualified. Watch this. My buyer owes me $2 million. I only owe out $1,725,000. So that is another $275,000 on the back end of this deal when my buyer cashes out. And I don't think I have to tell you that if a buyer gives me $500,000 down, they're going to cash out. In fact, I hope they don't, but it's most likely that they're going to cash out. So let me ask you this. If you can make $600,000 on one house with a $100 investment and absolutely no credit, how many of these do you need to do to surpass your current income? And the answer is not very many. Now, you may be thinking, well, golly, where am I going to find buyers who will owner finance with multi-million-dollar houses? Get this, approximately 1/3 of the people that contact us or we contact with high-end houses say yes to owner financing. And some of our best candidates are free and clear, don't even have a mortgage on them. I got a lot of examples I could show you on that, but I'm not going to do it for the sake of this lesson. The whole gist is this: buy with terms, sell with better terms. Now, you might be saying, well, gosh, where am I going to find a seller that'll take such a small down payment? I need a small down payment. And frankly, about the most we ever give a seller is 5%. Well, let's just turn this around for a minute. I don't have an eraser here, Elliot, or I could actually make some erasers on it. Give me something to erase with, please. Let's just turn this around. Let's just say that our seller wants $2.4 million and wants $200,000 down and wants $10,000 a month payment. Well, that just means that we're not going to stay in it. If I don't have an opportunity to get a monthly spread and I don't get some equity, then I won't stay in the house. However, don't forget ACS. Because if that seller had to have 2.4 and 200 down, I know I can go into the marketplace and get more than $200,000 down on a $2.5 million house. So I'd turn it into an ACS deal and I'd put it out there and get $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 down and keep what I could get above the 200. My friends, there has never been a better time to do these deals than right now. And my favorite areas to do these deals are in the higher end markets. The more value I have here, the better I like it. $5 million, $10 million houses don't scare me a bit. And you know what else we discovered? These people that own these high-end houses, they're easier to deal with than the people on the low-end houses. They're fun to talk to, they get it, they're educated, and they clearly understand what we're going to accomplish. So anyway, that's the business we're in today. Might as well jump into the big leagues, make big money in big chunks, and that's what this is all about. Listen, if you want to learn more about this high-end real estate stuff, and I know you do, I'm going to be teaching it live on July the 10th and 11th. Mark down those dates, July 10th and 11th. And we're going to be teaching you how to do this step by step. In addition to that, though, we're actually going to be screening your deals. I'm going to work with you prior to coming and get you some high-end leads generated. We're going to call them for you from class and see how many deals we can generate for you while you're in this class. This class is all about how to negotiate with these people, how to handle them, the stupid stuff not to do, because you can make a mess out of these deals real easy with what comes out of your mouth. So we're going to talk about what to say, the scripts, we're going to negotiate, we're going to practice, and we're going to process real live bona fide leads. I've also got an internet specialist coming in who's going to teach you how to find buyers for high-end houses by using Facebook targeting, not just Facebook. Any doofus can use Facebook. Facebook targeting is something totally different. In fact, it is the hottest marketing tool in the world today because it literally allows you to decide whose Facebook pages you want your ad to show up on, who is your best target market. And man, it changes changes everything we do when we're selling houses. So you're going to learn how to find them, how to negotiate them, how to create killer deals that you stay in, some that you get out. I'm going to give you all the tools, and if you want a lot of the work done for you, I'll have VAs there for you. We're all systemized now. We even set you up websites, the whole thing. I'm telling you, it's never been easier. So set aside July 10th and 11th. We're going to only take 50 people in this live event, but we will be simulcasting it, so you do have a choice. By the way, you don't have a choice. If you can get in before we hit the 50, you really should get here, because processing these leads and making deals will only apply to the 50 that are in the class. So be one of those 50. I can't process deals for the people on the simulcast. We can't talk to them. We can't call the sellers, and it just doesn't work. We tried it. So if you want to get in on the 50 and be in class, get registered right now. There's never been another event like this, and there never will, because I'm only going to do it once. Now I am taping it, but it will be a good 90 days after the event is over before the tapes are even ready. Gosh knows how much that'll cost you in lost deals like this. We're working on a ton of these right now, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you, I really don't want to work on anything else. The days of a $100,000 house, over. I don't even want to think about a house so cheap anymore, when I can sit here and make 6 figures on these houses and without risk, and most of the time never even owning them. In this case, I'd own it. Sometimes we never lay a finger on them. So if that interests you, make sure you get registered right now before we fill up.